Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. This is Jeffrey Davis. I am host of Radio Entrepreneurs and also chairman of the board of MAGE LLC, a management consulting firm. And our next guest is Alper, CEO, CyberGuard360, and Absolute Logic. Wow, that's quite a title.
It opens up the conversation. How's that?
Well, let's start a conversation, Al. Tell us about CyberGuard360 and Absolute Logic.
Sure. So actually, CyberGuard360 was born out of Absolute Logic. The Absolute Logic is a managed services provider. We provide technology services and cybersecurity services for predominantly state verticals that are governed by some degree of compliance or obligations, or even a mission to make sure that companies' data and their client data is protected. So we focus on those verticals such as financial services and healthcare and legal, etc., who have a desire to or are compelled to protect data, and we govern all of their services and manage all of that. And through the exercise of that endeavor in the managed services company, Absolute Logic, we built a solution suite around security that very quickly garnered wide scale adoption. And in the course of about a year, we found ourselves from our small footprint in Connecticut to operating in 37 states and 5 countries. And as a result of that, we spun off our solution into a channel company called CyberGuard, and we now sell those solutions to companies like Absolute Logic.
Wow. So if I was a customer, what would I look like and what would I be buying?
So on the Absolute Logic side, you'd be a small to medium-sized businesses, 25 plus employees and higher. Our average employee size is just shy of 40. And then you would outsource all of your technology and cybersecurity to us. Sometimes like larger companies will backstop internal IT teams doing project work, or where we have some high competencies or very strong skills that are outside what a typical internal team might look like. So for instance, migrating a domain, you would utilize our services and become part of our team. On the CyberGuard side, if you were a company like Absolute Logic, where you wanted to get into cybersecurity, beef up your cybersecurity stack, or add another cybersecurity arrow in your quiver, you would subscribe to our platform services that are both client-facing and then those that are internal as well.
Very interesting. So tell me, when did you start this venture?
So Absolute Logic has been around since the early part of the 90s, 91 actually. And I was in and out of the business periodically. I started several ventures in between. One of them I sold off to CIT and had a very handsome exit. So I wasn't complaining about that. I got back to Absolute Logic in the early part of the 2010s, and we converted it to a managed services company. And a few years into that, we spun off CyberGuard.
Now, you said we, so do you have business partners?
In CyberGuard, I do. In Logic, I don't. Except for my wife is my partner in everything, to be fair. And she lets me know that, by the way.
Big difference between running a business without a partner and with a partner?
Yes, actually. In many ways, I prefer the partnership because it gives me an honest reflection to bounce things off of. You know, typically for people that work for you, you're always somewhat, suspect is a little too strong, but I'm always considering how their answers are relative to them being responsible to me, right? Whereas a partner will tell you exactly what he's thinking or she's thinking.
Interesting. So as cybersecurity, has the company changed a lot over the last 90 days, or it's just the market has changed?
So we haven't changed really much at all. We've grown on both sides of the businesses for obviously good reason. As the footprint of security expanded beyond the four corners of a traditional office to the four corners of everybody's home offices. If you think about a 30 plus man firm, person firm, then that four walls that contain those 30 people originally prior to this now are 31 times four walls, because everybody's home. All of their home offices now have to be protected, considered, managed, monitored, maintained. So we've grown necessarily as that footprint has grown. But in many ways, we're exactly the same. We've added some bodies to the team, so that's good. But we are, as a managed services company, we are built from the ground up to be remote. That is the nature of our business, because we operate our clients' offices remote. And so many of our team members have always operated out of their house because it was convenient for them and it was convenient for us, and it kept our footprint down. So in many ways, we haven't changed. Our clients have. And I think that, we have a lot of professional service organizations that are clients. And as a result of that, they've come to realize that working from home is not necessarily a bad thing. And a few of them have already started coming to us evaluating making this a longer term, if not a permanent endeavor for them.
That's an interesting thing. So how do your engagements look? What do they look like for the potential customer?
So a typical customer, you said?
Yeah, if you can.
Okay. They would most of our clients they give all of their IT and cybersecurity to us, meaning we are effectively their IT team and their technology services providers. So they would engage us. We have 3-year contracts. They would engage us to manage, maintain, monitor, support, secure their entire environment, no matter where that was. So if you think of one of our larger law firms that has a few hundred team members, we've been supporting them for several years at this point, and they have been both in office, in multiple offices around the country, as well as on the road. I mean, most attorneys you'll find are mobile in nature, and they don't enjoy might be too strong, but they don't enjoy the 9 to 5, 8 to 6 work life. Their work life, from the moment they wake up, they sit down and they get to work because they tend to love what they do, or the job defines what they do. So in those regards, we handle and support all of that as if we were their own IT team. On the smaller firms, we do a lot of on-site, and we have a few people that are actually staffed on-site as well, who need on-site routine daily work done, and so we'll actually staff people in-house. So that's what a typical client would look like.
Oh, very interesting. We've been speaking with Alper, CEO, CyberGuard360 and Absolute Logic, probably one of the better businesses to be in during this giant economic change. Al, if somebody's looking for you, how would they find you?
Our managed services website, absolutelogic.com. That's absolute with an E, not without, like the vodka. If I was the vodka, I'd be a different company completely. Absolutelogic.com. You can email me directly, al.alper@absolutelogic.com, or feel free to give us a call at 855-255-1550 and just ask for me, and I answer the phone, believe it or not.
Thanks, Al. Thanks for being on the show today. We hope to see you again this year, talking about a very relevant business model. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with more stories on Radio Entrepreneurs.